donate some blood. Someone else's.
Hey up me old mucker, Mark from GamebustersUK here with the long-awaited 6th installment of my Blood, the Way of All Flesh walkthrough. This is Mission 6, The Great Temple, and it's a massive map, a gigantic map, and which works out fine because I've been waiting ages to do commentary for this. I just haven't had the enthusiasm or the time or the free time to get back to this walkthrough, and because it's so long, the video is so long, it's a bumper video. I thought, I can do it. I now have enough to talk about, to sit here and rewatch my my footage, my gameplay, which was done quite a while ago now. I must admit, it was a while ago that I played these maps. But yes, so we're making some good progress. It's actually only 2 more missions to go after this one. We've got the Altar of Stone, which is the boss map, and then the secret level, House of Horrors. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, if you've subscribed to GamebustersUK for this content, for this blood content, it caught your eye and you thought, hey, it's a very good, because it's a cult game, really, and I don't have anywhere near as enough knowledge as some people do about this game, but I do realize with these cult games, you do sometimes get a viewer or two who come along for the ride just because you're playing through a game that they love. So if there is anyone out there who is come to the channel watching these videos and enjoying them, please leave a comment and let me know if I'm doing good. Well, scratch that, I'm not doing good at all. Not there, I wasn't. 40 health, and we're not even we're not even 10% into the map yet. So that does not bode well. But yeah, because this is all done blind as well. I'd watched Blood Out Drakan's Let's Play of Blood, so I kind of had the gist of what I was doing, but me playing through it is it's 50% blind, because the editing process for this part alone was phenomenal. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a while ago that I actually edited this together. I've only just gotten around to doing the commentary on the 3rd of September, which is really late considering that I recorded these in June May, June sort of time. But yeah, like I said, just haven't had the free time to get back into video making on GamebustersUK, or indeed on my own personal channel. It's been, it's life. You have to prioritize, and unfortunately, this is just a hobby. And I'm saying that woman died an unpleasant death, decapitated underwater, chained underwater. Oh yeah, lose another 4 health. Yeah, that's gonna help my cause, isn't it? But yeah, just have not had the time, which is a shame, really, because I really do like sitting in the hot seat commentating. I prefer live commentary, but when I have time constraints, you'll find that a lot of my content becomes post-commentary, because it's just far more easier to record the gameplay, leave it for a few weeks or even months, and then come back to it, do the commentary, and upload the video. Well, that's what I find anyway. But anyway, let's talk a bit more about the gameplay. As you can see, we've already fought through a fair amount of enemies. There's an underwater section as well, as you see just then, and there is an even beefier underwater section as well. A lot of cultists, as you would expect. This is probably the most challenging. This is the most challenging map on the Way of All Flesh. you'll have to not waste TNT. Don't waste your dynamite like I do. I got him eventually. What was that? The 6th throw. Yeah, not too great, not too great. But yeah, you have to really pace yourself on this map. Unless you're an expert, unless you're a blood enthusiast, I'd recommend pacing yourself on this map if you're going through this game, you know, sort of blind as what I was doing, you know, because I said it about the game as a whole when I did the video where I tried out the first level for the first time. This game punishes you something fierce, and even though I'm only playing on lightly broiled, which is a fairly mediocre difficulty, you can still get your ass handed to you on multiple occasions. Now there is a secret here, a doctor's bag, which is, for me at that point, it was much needed. So just bear that in mind if you ever find yourself, you know, playing through blood one day. Remember that secret. It's doctor's bags are pretty much your bread and butter when it comes to saving your life, really, in this game. And then you want to jump across to there. Thankfully, the jump mechanic is quite generous in blood, which is a massive plus to the game, because I find that in most of these early late 90s, early 90s first-person shooters, the one mechanic which always gets me in a bit of a huff and a puff is the jump mechanic, because especially like the Quake games, and even in Doom the jump mechanic is not fantastic, but in Blood it's pretty much spot on, especially when like in Quake, when you have to jump onto certain maps where you have to jump onto elevators, and indeed in Doom, the jump mechanic does often fall a bit short, pardon the pun. But in Blood, the jump mechanic is brilliant. I mean, it's very generous, and you even have the special item called the jump boots. I don't know why it took so long to remember what they were called. Jump boots. They pretty much do what they say on the tin, which enable you to jump even further. So, yeah, Blood is definitely fantastic for the jump mechanic. As always, remember, pretty much a staple. Try and take out the zombies with the pitchfork as much as you can, especially when you're playing out the higher difficulties, when ammo, when enemies take more shots to kill, ammo becomes at a premium. Definitely remember that the pitchfork is the preferred method of killing the zombies, at least the axe wielding zombies. Dynamite, another tactic of Blood, which has been working out pretty well for me, is to lob dynamite around corners where you suspect a nastily placed enemy might be. Yeah, that's the flare gun. 2 shots, and an enemy will burst into flames after a few seconds. So, if you ever find yourself playing it, don't shoot them any more than twice with the flare gun. Unless they're a beefy enemy like the zombies that chuck up vomit. Although I don't think we actually fight any of them in this in the Way of All Flesh. You probably do on the higher difficulties. But like I say, playing on lightly broiled because I'm a bit of a wimp when it comes to games like these. But that doesn't take away from the game. I mean, the fact that the game is difficult is a major plus for me, because a lot of FPSs today are ridiculously easy, and so it's nice to come back to these games. And okay. I'm not sure how he didn't get hurt by the first blast, but anyway, there is a secret outside there as well. Just smash the windows, jump out, and I believe there is a secret to be had. Alright, I don't think I took it. I may have only found out its existence after I recorded this, I don't know. I do watch, sometimes for my preparation I will watch other Let's Plays on YouTube. Just sort of a background preparation for games like these. There's bats. Bats don't really hurt you unless you provoke them, so I'm not really sure if they count towards your enemies killed statistic at the end of the level. So if you are going for that statistic, if you are going for 100%, you may want to kill the bats. But like I say, they don't really do anything to hurt you unless you attack them. Took a bit of a drubbing there, but luckily there's quite a bit of life essence to spare. So that bit shoddy with the editing process again. I always miss one or two of the saves, so I like to cut them out because they slow down the pace. But obviously I missed that one, so I do apologise. Me old mucker. Bloody hell, me old mucker. Yes, there's a gargoyle in that next room. A gargoyle, very well, you know, they're not fantastically difficult. They are a cut above the normal sort of enemies you come across. They're only made sort of. Well, they're a modicum of difficulty because they fly around and they can be difficult to what's the word, to pin in one sort of area. You know, if you're shooting them, you want them to be in one area so you can continue to gun them down. But the gargoyle tends to move around a lot. The best tactic is, especially when you're in a large open space like this, is to just run away from the gargoyle whilst shooting at it. Is the best tactic I've sort of found. Well, I haven't found it. I've seen other people do it, but it seems to work pretty well. Just run around, usually in a circle. It's just quite handy because 9 times out of 10, you'll encounter gargoyles in large open spaces like this room ahead of me. I don't know why I was being so tentative here, but oh yeah, I do know why I was being tentative, because I thought that there might have been a few more cultists hanging around, but as you can see here, the gargoyle sort of did a banzai charge against me, and it very almost paid off for him, because I lost a phenomenal amount of health. But he was burnt to a cinder, so that's good. That's finger licking good. That was horrible. That was terrible. That was not even. We shall speak no more of that pun. Sorry. I do realise that I'm not being very funny in this commentary, but there we go. I mean, we can't always be Michael McIntyre, can we? Actually, screw that. Michael McIntyre's not even funny. He just speaks in that certain way that makes him seem funny. I prefer Lee Evans, in my opinion, and I mean, Frankie Boyle is my favourite comedian because he just doesn't care who he annoys. He's just brilliant because, you know, he's like 50% honesty and 50% sort of outrageous. So that's why I like Frankie Boyle. But I would never want to ever sit in the front row during a Frankie Boyle concert. Show rather. They don't have concerts, do they? Comedians. That's bizarre. I haven't seen a comedian in a while. I saw I forgot his name. I saw the bald guy off Mock the Week. He was mildly funny. I can't remember his name. What's his bloody name? Nah, I can't remember his name. But he was mildly funny. You know, he's the sort of bald guy with the moustache. No, don't have his name. Don't have his name. It's in Jimmy Carr, but the thing about Jimmy Carr is I don't like him. I would love to see Frankie Boyle, but if I ever do see him, if he ever does come to Ipswich, I will have to make sure that if I do get tickets, I'll have to sit in the, you know, as far away from the stage as possible, because, you know, comedians, they always pick on people in the front 5 rows, and it's just, I would hate to be one of those people, because, you know, I can take, you know, being laughed at, but professional comedians, they're very good at what they do, and they anyway, yeah, there's guns akimbo up there. I didn't know how to get it, but I think you just press the that switch over there, which would make sense. But beware, do that, and of course, loads of enemies will soon appear. Hence why you might need guns akimbo. Nice one. I saw someone do a speed run of this map, and they literally did it in like a minute in like a minute and change. So like 1 minute 14 seconds, something phenomenal like that. But there is yeah, I just well, look at this video, 40 minutes long. Yeah, tremendous golf in ability for one, and but bear in mind it is a speed run. In a lot of speed runs, people don't even bother attacking the enemies, do they? Because it slows them down. But this part required quite a bit of editing. Yeah, I died quite a few times on this part. This little section here. Yeah, I died quite a few times. We'll see why when I open these doors. And I think there's a side door where enemies come out of as well. I could be mistaken. No, they come out of that door as well. Yeah. So you're at risk. You're at risk of being attacked from behind, as well as from the front. That was reckless. That's the one thing that springs to mind about that. that when I just chucked a stick of dynamite, is very reckless. Very reckless. Because you can quite easily kill yourself. Look at that. That was good. That was good. That's gonna be my video highlight. That's something I've started to do on my own channel, is to put the highlight, to pick one scene from a video, or one part of a video, like a couple of seconds, 1.5, 2 seconds at the most, a little highlight, and then put it in the beginning of the video in black and white, sort of so people get, so it's like you're sitting there, you see it at the beginning of the video, and you think, oh, what's that? And then you watch the rest of the video to see that particular part in more depth. I think it's a good editing technique. And you know what? I will have to make a mental note about that. I'm gonna do it, because I'm always looking for ways to make videos more entertaining, and to make audience retention is the one thing that I'm constantly trying to improve upon. So it was about 17. It was around the 17-minute mark. So I've just made a note of that. Yeah, 17-minute mark. Reflective shots. Yeah, once again, I always skip reflective shots when it's of no aid to me, once I've cleared out the whole room of enemies. But it is a very useful, tremendously useful power-up. And here I sped this up, as you'll notice the lack of sound, which happens when I speed clips up. The sound seems to disappear. Mainly for time reasons, I suppose. As you can see, I was on 2 health there. I mean, this part trimmed. It's 2.5 minutes, so in its entirety would be 5 minutes. So that would be another 43 sort of minute. The video would end up being 43 minutes. When I'm dealing with such a big video like this, because I played it blind, because I died a little bit, and the editing was massive, massive. There we go. The editing was I don't know why I start stuttering. I don't ever stutter. I know people who do, but I don't ever stutter. But sometimes when I do this post commentary, I stutter. And now I've forgotten what I was going to talk about. Yeah, okay. I try to save as much time as I can when I'm editing, like large videos like this, because as a rule of thumb, I always try to keep my videos at a maximum 25 minutes long. A lot of the time, I'll aim for 15 minutes, unless it's a big RPG like my Dragon Age Origins playthrough. 25 minutes, 20 minutes for a video. Anything longer than that, and I feel that it's because I know that there are people out there on YouTube who will happily watch a long video. And I'm actually one of them. You know, if I see a Let's Play and there's a part of it that's 30 minutes long, as long as it's a game I like, as long as it's something that I can watch and the commentator is, you know, good, I will happily watch it. I'll happily watch it. Especially with real-time strategy games, because they're quite slow-paced, so I will often watch long videos of them. But as a rule, you know, I will, you know, anything more than half an hour, and you know, it's gonna go in the watch later playlist, and I'll watch it in drips and drabs. I'll watch it, you know, maybe watch half and then watch half later. But yeah, this, you know, I suppose I could have cut this out completely, but there we go. It was just me running about trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. And here we go, Night of the Living Dead. It got... Oh, one little survivor there, like in the movies when one enemy is alive and they creep up on the protagonist. Is it the protagonist? I forget. I really did love my media studies classes. Seems a long time ago now, but it was only like 3 years ago. So yeah, protagonist, antagonist, all that media theory and the narratives of films. I love that stuff. Love it to bits, and you can apply a lot of it to video games as well. That's why I really love it. I should have done my case. Oh dear, what happened there? And here, a lot of cultists. That little gunfight reminded me of a story I heard about a Gurkha who it may have been in Afghanistan. A Gurkha who took out like a whole platoon of Taliban with an M60, and then when he ran out of ammunition, he proceeded to club them to death with his M60, which is phenomenal, really. I've always had massive respect for the Gurkhas, mainly because they can slit your throat in your sleep without you ever knowing a thing. But also because they fight the good fight. So yeah. But that story intrigued me because just because of the sheer the wow factor of it all. I mean, that's real testament of character and willpower, really. I mean. I'm unsure if you can pick up the napalm launcher. You may be able to pick it up in this map. It may be a secret. I'm just trying to figure out if I picked it up in Hallowed Grounds. I think I did pick it up in Hallowed Grounds. Oh dear. There we go. Yep, I have the skull key. That's nice. That's a good feat. That was a nice door opening animation. Ooh! Unsure how I quite missed those time chart. Oh! Wow. I don't know if you saw that, but if you rewind, you can I actually killed 3 enemies right there. I killed that zombie on the floor there, while I was shooting frantically in the sort of panicked state that I often get when I'm surrounded by a lot of enemies that I didn't expect to suddenly be beside me. Yeah, I actually took him out with one of my panic shots, which is quite. It's always quite nice when something unplanned happens like that in these sort of games. Ah, killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Well, not quite, because the other one got right back up. So a lot of enemies behind. A lot of enemies in this room. Ah, and he's hiding down there. Okay. Not sure how I managed to do that. I holstered the weapon for some reason. Oh dear. You know what I've done? I've forgotten to change the sound settings on this particular clip. So once again, it's tremendously loud. For me, anyway. Ah, that's ear rape. Absolute ear rape. Ah, God. There we go. Now it's a more acceptable level of volume. Far more acceptable. And we have the fire key. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I was planning to use this video as a kind of update video to explain, well, not necessarily explain, just give all the subscribers to GamebustersUK, the people that actually do watch our videos, and that do enjoy them, just to explain why it's been a month. Ooh, that was nice. Why it's been a month since I uploaded a video, and I thought that would be this part. Actually, this part. Sorry to change topics, but this part is actually tremendously fun. Because it's fun because you can die at any moment, so you have to really be at the top of your game. This part's also quite good. Basically, all you need to do is duck, or you'll be roasted alive. Could have shot that barrel. Wow. That was a very fortuitous that I did not die. No, I can see the Tommy gun cultist. No, that's a gargoyle. I don't know what that was about. Panic shot. Ah, you scumbag. That's a doctor's bag, isn't it? Ah, yes, this bit. Now, again, another bit where I died quite a couple, more than a couple of times. Whilst that zombie got some distance. I'm just saying. This part, yeah, this part claimed my life quite a few times. My in-game life, I should say. Basically, there's a whole horde of enemies at the top level there. As well as a couple of enemies that appear only when you do a certain thing. There we go, there's Monsieur Zombie. With Monsieur Zombie like a pitchfork. Yeah, I was a bit surprised at the randomness of the French accent as well. He's going to explode in 3... Oh, okay. Maybe quicker. 3, 2, 1. There we go. He's now a shish kebab. Very disgusting and putrid shish kebab. Would not want to eat a zombie kebab. Yeah, there is a cultist who will spawn. I believe he spawns when you do this. There he is. Ah, yeah, there they are. There they are, the little bastards. Yeah, they killed me quite a few times. And again, another part with sort of flames that appear out of the walls. So again, this map really has a lot, which is why I would say it's my... I wouldn't say it's my favourite map, but you have to respect the level of... You have to respect the level of detail in it, and that I do. It's a tremendous... it's an endurance test, basically. This map is a massive endurance test, and there's no reason that you can't go into the boss mission after this, fully stocked up on ammo, perhaps a little bit of armor, 100 health, and a doctor's bag. If you play your cards right. That's how you should view this. You should view this as a challenge. But a challenge, if done correctly, you'll have a lot of weapons in your arsenal to deal with Sheo, whatever. However you say his name. Oh. That's what you get. That's what you get. The enemy placement is really fantastic. It is really fantastic. You cannot just wade in, you know, guns firing, because you will get killed. You have to be smart when playing this game. That's another thing I like about it. You have to be smart. I'm not saying you have to be an intelligent person to play the game. I'm saying you have to have your wits about you when you take on this challenge. I don't know why I needed to explain that. I mean, that's quite... People should... I don't know. Rambling. It's the stage where I ramble. We've only got 4 minutes left of the video, but... What am I doing? There is something in here. There is like a life seed, maybe. No, there's a key. There is a life seed as well, I believe. I do believe, sir. I do believe, son, that there is a life seed. There is a life seed. Well, huh? Maybe there wasn't. Curious, because I thought there was. Oh, here we go. Blood's not big on teleports. It's like one of the rare occasions where you find a teleporter. Now this actually had me baffled for a little bit. But then I figured out what you had to do, and it became quite simple. Look at all that stock there. You know, a smart player would have collected all that stuff afterwards, and then gone on to the next level with all that stuff, all those goodies. Yeah, another sped up segment, and you can quite painfully, obviously, see why I was just running around without a clue. Yeah. Oh dear, you have to press that. And you get guns akimbo, although it may be a moot point at this stage. But there is a lot of enemies in these individual little rooms that rotate. Nice volley, son. Nice volley indeed. Oh, look at that lob. Little dink. And then you have to quickly get out of the room, otherwise you get stuck in it and you haven't really progressed, as I discovered there, hence why I sped this up. You see, the editing process was so fast in this episode. I'm glad that I did it a long time ago and it doesn't annoy me as much. There we go. He figures it out at last. Well done, me old mucker. You hear him all go, ah, ah, ah. And do the same with that door. Come on. Come on. There we go. That was kind of risky. Oh, there's a gargoyle in there as well. A little taste of what's to come. Well, me old mucker, I have been Mark from the GamebustersUK, and I hope you've enjoyed this one, I'll see you again in the Stone Altar.